Today, you're going to learn the most crucial pronunciation tips for French beginners. Once you master these basic tips, you'll improve your accent dramatically and sound more like a native speaker. Are you ready to learn the essential rules for French pronunciation? Let's get started! Hey everyone, Danae here with Take Lessons Live, bringing you the latest French tutorials straight from our virtual classroom. Learning new words and phrases in French is very important, but it's just as crucial to make sure you're pronouncing all of this new vocabulary correctly. So let's hop into Katharina's French class to learn how to fine-tune our accents. And don't forget to hit subscribe so you can stay updated with more helpful French tutorials.
And then let's get to the alphabet. So E, that's for E. J, it's like a J sound, like a measure. J, R, R. It's pretty much all the time that the H is silent. That's a general rule. Whenever you have an H, you don't pronounce it. So it's just like l'homme, without even, it's there, but you don't say it. It's always like a y sound almost when you have two L's together. So Fille, you wouldn't think that that's how you spell it. G, it depends if it's before an E and an I, it's like S in measure, so like a G. But if it's before an A, U, or U, it's like a G in get. So it depends. Let's see. We have le garçon is the boy. So because we have an A right after it, it's like G in get. But basically, we have 5 different categories. So we have the accent aigu, which is on an E only, and it goes from the bottom left to the upper right. For example, on éléphant. And that means that the pronunciation of the E changes to an A. So for example, café. It's almost like an AY sound, café. Then we have the accent grave, and that can be on the E, on the A, and the U. And it's, for example, in fièvre, in la, or in ou. If you have it on the letter E, it changes its pronunciation to like E. For example, crème, crème. It's like an EH sound almost, or fièvre. And for the letter A and U, it doesn't change the pronunciation, but it can indicate that it's a different word. For example, la, without an accent grave on the A, just means the article. It's a female article, for example, la femme, the woman. If we have it with an accent grave, it means there. So sometimes it's used for pronunciation, but then you also have the cases when it relates to a different word. Then we have the accent circonflexe, which is like a little hat on top of the vowels. That has a similar function like the A and the U with the accent grave, and it doesn't change the pronunciation, but it indicates another word. So for example, we have mur, M-U-R. Without the little circonflexe, it means wall. But if you put a little circonflexe on top of the U, it means ripe. So it's really important to focus on the little details of a word to figure out what it means or how to pronounce it. So that's the circonflexe. We have the tréma, which is like a 2 little dots on E, I, U, and Y. So for example, Noël is Christmas, maïs from corn. Then we have the CD, and we talked about that before. That's a little, almost like a little S under the C, and that means that we pronounce it soft. So français. It's not very sharp, but it's soft. And then just some basic pronunciation rules. So the stress in French words always fall on the last pronounced syllable. So you have the stress always at the end of a word, like crème as an example. Then the C with the little S on the bottom is always pronounced as S. So garçon, laisson, façon, so like a soft S. The letter H is never pronounced. We had that with l'hôpital, hospital. You don't hear it at all. Then there's a rule when a word ends with a consonant and the next word begins with a vowel or silent H, like hôpital. When you pronounce it, you basically connect the two words. For example, l'hôpital. For example, les enfants. So you don't say les enfants, because in French, it's always how it sounds. It's almost like like singing really. So les enfants. Then we have any French letters like an A and an E in the words le, la, ce, je, me, te, ce, de, ne, and que. Whenever you have these and you notice that they have a vowel at the end, then the last vowel is dropped and you just do a little apostrophe and you connect the other word. L'enfant, the child, would actually be le enfant. Le is male. And because you have an E and an E coming together, you cut off the E and you replace it with an apostrophe, l'enfant. And that's again, just that it sounds better and it's not so le enfant. That doesn't sound as good as l'enfant. And then the nasal sounds, they're indicated by a vowel plus N or M. And the vowel becomes nasal and the N or the M is not pronounced. For example, on, the UN, on. We say the U, but we don't really say the N. Les pains. Yeah, because you have the vowel, the I, and then you have an N, and then it's pain, because the I gets nasal and the N is not pronounced.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. We hope you found these French pronunciation tips super helpful. Click the link in the description box below so you can access free online French classes. You can join live, online group classes, just like this one, to take your skills to the next level. See you there!